our sphere here in Dane County.
And that's where the hope is. Not everyone wants to get involved in nonprofits. And the hope is that 100 Men is such a simple idea that you don't have to ever come to an event. Just know that your money is being vetted to go to good causes. You don't have to spend any time. You could be home with your family every single quarter, never come to a single event, grant presentation, never come to a family event that we host or Vortex. Just know that your money can go to a good cause and help kids in the community. And that's kind of the idea. Because people are like, I'm really busy. Guess what? You don't have to be involved at all. Or you can come to every single one if you want.
Well, I used to go to every single one, and I've been really busy this year. I haven't been to one.
Yeah.
And I know the money's going to a good cause. Yeah. So like I've been in both sides of camp.
Yeah. That Jason hits a good point that ease is the whole reason we created this, because I do believe people have the desire to give back, but they think it's all the time and the energy. And it's like, oh man, you have to click a link that you have to click 3 buttons, right? First, second, and third place. So that takes 5 minutes.
Maybe that's the sarcasm you can use. It's really tough, actually. You got to click 3 buttons.
Yeah.
And then hook up your
ACH account.
Yeah, exactly.
The other piece, a couple of members mentioned, they watch it with their families, so their kids can see, like, look, not everyone has it like we have it. We don't have our nice house and our nice XYZ. Like, hey, look at this. These kids are trying to figure out how they're going to get meals for the week.
That's a great idea. Next
so it really
quarter,
opens
I'm
up.
Have my kids watch the videos.
You should. It was powerful. I don't think my daughter's ready. She just turned 7 last week. She's not ready to see that stuff, but my son is aware. Yeah. I think he sees it enough. He's 9, turns 10 in December, but he was asking me on the plane. So I was flying to a wedding when our voting for the board was due, right, to read all these applications. So I'm like, well, I'm going to rip these out on a plane. I got a 3-hour ride. So I read applications, and my son was sitting next to me. He's like, well, what's this? And I was like, well, these are all organizations supporting children in different ways. Do you want to read one, or can I read it out loud to you? Yeah. And one of them was the abuse one. Gosh, I can't think of the name of it right now. But children are being exploited, or sexual abuse, or physical abuse.
There's obviously Days and a few others.
There was Days and something else. It was a different organization. But anyways, I wish I could remember off the top of my head. Anyways, I was reading it out loud to him, and he had this look on his face that I can't get out of my brain. It was like dumbfounded, mouth open.
There are people living like this.
The kids get treated like this? And that's what he said to me. He's like, there's kids that have to deal with that, Dad.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. I said, so now you know why we're doing this work. I want you to hear this, not to scare you. I want it to be an awakening that when Mom and Dad sacrifice to give the money for this, and we don't have money to, do some buy your new PS5. It's because you got a PS4, so you're pretty good. We wanted to give that money, that $1,000, to that family instead. Does that make sense? And he's like, yeah, I won't take your no's as punishment. I'm going to take them as you just decided to do something else with it. Yeah. And I was like, holy cow, he's 9. And that's what he said.
Well, and the other piece of it is understanding that one or a handful of these kids may be in your class and you don't know.
Yes,
I make that point treating to my people son. With kindness. And,
gosh, I didn't say that, but that's a good
I remind my son all the time, my 9-year-old, I'm like, you think everyone's just living like you. I said, there could be kids in your class or in the other, 2 or 3 third grade classes that don't get meals. What? Like, yeah, just like, what do you mean? I'm like, they don't have food when they go home. And yeah, it's really makes them start to think about.
Or the abuse, right? So they come in with a bad attitude or something of that nature, or they're mean to you, but like, you don't know what they're dealing with at home.
Exactly it. Mm-hmm. Or his mom or dad sick or whatever the scenario is.
Yeah. I've taken him one time. He did a food pantry, the one that's off of Schrader Road, open hands. And he was loading a car and there were children in there, his age. And we were putting food in the car and he was like, Dad, is this for them to eat this week? And I was like, this week. And he was like,
I got to figure out how to get next week.
He just it hit him, right? He put that whole thing of food in that car, which I love that he wanted to be a part of that. But like, I bring him to that stuff because I want it to hit him that the things that you got, just like you mentioned about your son, like Jason, is that I want them to realize like, yeah, you got it pretty good. And so this stuff that we ask you to do is because there's people who don't. And as Christians, we're called to do that.
Yeah.
So.
And if you get frustrated like I do, like I'm sure you guys do with your kids.
What?
Never.
What?
With how spoiled they act sometimes, with how good they have it from getting whatever new pink palm puff sweatshirt and
Yes.
all this other shit I haven't even heard of before, but TikTok's made popular. Like that's the place to like take them to that. Like go do a charitable and bring your kids with and give them a different perspective of how others live in this world.
Yeah. I think that's super important to do. And I think it starts with just sharing the videos. And I think I got the idea from Jared, actually one of our board members, Jared Markowitz. He was like, yeah, I do them with the kids. And I was like,
and he's got twin 9-year-old girls.
Yeah. So and I was like, great idea, man. It's a really good idea.
Let's talk about the future because Charlie, you've laid out a pretty big vision that I've gotten to hear. I don't know if you're ready to share it yet, but I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
So we've had a ton of success in this group. We've, given $2.8 million, but having a big vision so that everyone can fit their visions inside of it is a big deal.
Yeah.
And you've come up with a pretty big one. So let's hear what's the future.
Well, the idea is, and something we've all been talking about is what's next, right? Like what you mentioned about our visions need to be so big that other people can be inside of them. It's the lid theory, right? Like your container needs to be bigger so that you can keep expanding, right? So the idea that the reason we created this other group that you and a few other guys wanted to be a part of is twofold. We want to get our membership back up to 100.
And by group, he means just like a subcommittee. We're not starting another charity.
No. Yeah, sorry. Thank you for clarifying. Yeah, inside of 100 Men, there's a committee, 5 other guys that really felt passionate to grow our membership, but also grow our sponsorship. And then the last part is the biggest vision. And I don't know when this lands or not, but the vision is an endowment. We want a $5 million endowment. And I know that's a crazy number. It's more than we've raised, right, to the state in 8 years. But like, if we don't throw something out and make it something possible that's reachable, right? Like, or maybe it's not reachable, but like, I think if you set some crazy number and you hit 3 million, what if you hit 3 million and you didn't get to 1 million, right?